If you think about it, slice of life as a genre is almost like taxonomy in a way. Its somewhat nebulous definition means that you can break it down into different classifications, and from there even sub-classifications. One of these is cute girls in a club type shows, and they all seem to follow a similar through line. Shy or unmotivated girl decides that it's time to make a change, and joins a club where she learns the power of being passionate about a hobby. And while these shows are fine, sometimes great even, it's always exciting to see a show go against the grain for the better. Yuru Camp is one of these shows. Not only is it one of the, if not the comfiest show of the season, I find that it has a lot to say about how we view others and how they spend their time. There's a bias in our society towards loudness, those who can easily speak their minds and stand out in a crowd. And this is fine, in fact it's necessary in life to sometimes take the spotlight. However, as a result, those who prefer solitude to the static of life can sometimes be forgotten, or even looked down upon. Thankfully, Yuru Camp does a stellar job at clearing this misconception. Some might call Rin a loner, but to be more accurate, she's an introvert. What sorts you into being an introvert or an extrovert is how you prefer to spend your time, and whether or not social interaction charges you up or drains you entirely. There's a misconception that all introverts are socially awkward to an extent, but many can actually socialize quite well. It all comes down to whether or not you prefer to have company, or just to be in the company of yourself. Many parts of Yuru Camp are of a solitary Rin embarking on yet another journey into nature, and she prefers to spend her winter nights curled up with a book rather than relishing in the company of friends. When I first started watching Yuru Camp, I was fully expecting for her to be incorporated into the camping club early on, and for the show to be about her opening up to the power of friendship, whatever that means. I'm very happy to have been wrong. Instead of chastising Rin for her introvertedness, instead it ultimately says, hey, that's okay. We're more than halfway through the series, and my expectation has yet to come to fruition. Not that I don't think she'll join eventually, but what's important is that Rin is able to do so on her own terms. When she first encounters Nadeshiko, you can almost feel the thought of, what am I getting myself into, flash in her head. But whether by nature or by design, Nadeshiko is perceptive of Rin's introversion and balances interacting with her and letting her do her own thing. Nadeshiko and the other club members are never pushy, but neither do they completely ignore her. Rin is given the freedom of autonomy, the ability to make her own choice when the time comes, and this makes the show quite unique. It's incredibly interesting to see this dichotomy of an introspective Rin and a rambunctious Nadeshiko. And while we're given the gift of watching cute girls interact with one another and learn about camping, the show spends an equal amount of time espousing the power that introverts can bring. Some of the comfiest moments of Yuru Camp are simply Rin relaxing by a freshly made campfire, sometimes overlooked by the majesty of Mount Fuji. There's a common theme in literature of going into nature to contemplate in solitude, and returning of newfound knowledge. While nothing quite so grandiose happens in Yuru Camp, Rin nonetheless shares her newfound experiences to Nadeshiko, and the result is magical. Susan Cain, author and proud introvert, wrote that society often places the man of action above the man of contemplation. Instead of reinforcing this tired attitude, Yuru Camp instead celebrates both, by showcasing a relationship where an introvert and extrovert live in harmony. By capturing those moments of joy that can only happen in a group, that often results in uncontrollable laughter, but also by not dismissing a different but equal kind of joy. The joy of sharing a meal and simply feeling the warmth and presence of another human being. Of two people utterly and completely alone. Together. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe for more content. And of course, if anything I said was wrong, I'm sorry. I must have stuttered.